Good morning. Welcome to your program, Your Agenda. I'm your host, Cito Beltran, starting off with an apology for my raspy Barry White voice today because clearly I fell victim to the VOG in Batangas when I was out there during the spewing of the ashes, and putting on a mask apparently did not help. So anyway, I will limit my use of my voice so that we can do the program properly today. Hopefully, like a diesel engine, I hope to warm up enough to do it respectably. Anyway, today is September 28th, 2023. It's a Thursday, and as always, I wish you a great day. And it's sunny out here in Barrio Capitolio in Pasig. And we would like to express our gratitude for those of you who are Cignal TV subscribers. Maraming salamat po for watching One News and, of course, Agenda on channels 8 and 250. Thank you also to the folks who watch us via Facebook and YouTube and the Cignal Play app. And thank you to PLDT for their home fiber optic internet. Like I said, this is not a paid commercial. It is an endorsement of a very reliable facility that I personally appreciate. Okay, so now today we're going to have a double feature. First one will primarily focus on investments for young people. And when I say young people, I think it would cover most of the new graduates, even college-age students, and first starters in their jobs. But maybe we might be able to ask a resource person what investment options are there also for young adults, because I have a habit of whenever I'm invited to a birthday party or baptismal, I usually give a small sum and I tell the parents, don't spend it, put it in a bank account, because that's a good start for children. Anyway, we will talk about investments with our first guest, and the second will be for senior citizens, because yesterday my wife, who is all the way out in the Netherlands, sent me a message of an announcement for senior citizens who will be getting, I think it's a 1,000 peso monthly benefit. But you have to register. So I wasn't sure if it was accurate, if it was a real deal, or if it was a spam or scam. So we invited someone from the Commission on Senior Citizens to verify and clarify the matter. So we'll get to that. First of all, let's start our day with our daily starter. It's a three-part daily starter. It comes from, they are statements from three different well-known authors, but all landing on the same spot. And Gab, if you would, we are always planning to live, according to Marcel Proust. We are never living, but hoping to live, according to Blaise Pascal. And finally, Ralph Waldo Emerson brings it home by saying, we are always getting ready to live, but never living. And that's a very nice daily starter, because many of us, I was talking to a friend yesterday who I hadn't seen in a long time, and she was talking about a job offer. She's a retiree already, and a job offer outside Metro Manila. And she said, well, it's out there in the province, etc., etc. And I said, look, you're not doing anything at home, and it might provide you an adventure. Better to go on adventure than to stare at a wall. And there are also people, I wrote down a classification of people who are stuck in a comfort zone, which is only comfortable because it is so familiar. People who are stuck in critics' chairs, Marami po niyan sa mga senior citizens that are out there. Well, in your boredom or because of so much knowledge, you end up sitting on the critic's chair criticizing all the wrong things that people are doing, all the wrong things that are being said, and not realizing you become just a armchair critic instead of going out and living your life, or what is left of your life. And there are those who are zombies and Scrooge. And when I say zombies and Scrooge, some of us, and I caught myself being this at one point, where we just got so accustomed to doing the same thing day in, day out, not realizing, teka, you could be doing something more. And of course, the Scrooge, they're the ones who are just preoccupied with their money and not the meaning or putting meaning in their life. So, yun po, no, based on our daily starter today, Gab, if you would, could you flash it again? It goes, we are always planning to live. We are never living, but hoping to live. We are always getting ready to live, but never living. So I hope you will reflect on that today. Let's go to the front page of the Philippine Star, and it will just be a quick reading. I need to conserve my concert voice. Headliner of the Philippine Star today, September 28, 2023, Congress to realign secret and intelligence funds to security agencies. OVP, DepEd confidential funds to be affected by realignment. Clearly, Congress, Senate has gotten so much flack for the intelligence funds for being enablers of intelligence funds that are spent. So now, just to pacify everyone, realign na lang po para sa armed forces. And that big photo that backs up that story is our small contingent of the armed forces, Western Command, holding a flag-raising ceremony on Lakas Island in Palawan. Okay, at the top of the front page, okay, there's the photo. In the top of the front page, Gibo, or Secretary of Defense, Gilbert Chidoro, stated, Philippines not provoking Chinese in West Philippine Sea. That is in reaction to the claims of the spokesperson of the ministry of in China, saying Philippines is the provocateur. Meanwhile, the Department of Foreign Affairs confirms that former PNP Chief General Azurin was indeed intercepted in Canada and questioned by Canadian authorities. Meanwhile, a New York judge finds Trump liable for fraud. Ayan po. So dami-dami with so many legal issues. Here is yet another hit against the former U.S. President Donald Trump, who has been found liable for fraud. Meanwhile, President Bongbong Marcos addressed new PNP generals when he swore in 60 generals, grabe, 60 generals of the Philippine National Police, and told them there is no room for corruption. My question is, when those 60 generals retire, will there be money for their retirement? Grabe. Okay, center photo. President Marcos signs the Trabaho para sa Bayan Act into law, which aims to address unemployment and other labor issues in the company of his sister Ate Senator Amy Marcos, Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin, Senate President Miguel Zubiri, and Speaker Martin Romualdez. Meanwhile, the Department of Budget and Management allots 705 million for bike program. the Marcos administration has earmarked 705 million to provide sustained and active mobility in the country's overall transportation system via the Active Transport Bike Share System and Same Pathways program. Good luck on that. It is such a small amount. You kind of wonder, is it enough to even get the program started? Anyway, this connection notice covers 2 months of overdue accounts. Maynilad Water Services, Inc. yesterday clarified that the notice of disconnection only covers customers with overdue accounts over the past 2 months after netizens received a text message that it would implement service cuts starting October 1. Okay, so pag naka 2 months na po kayong hindi nagbabayad ng bill, pasensyahan na lang. Okay, Google Philippines launches free AI skills development course. Google Philippines yesterday announced the launch by Google Cloud of a free AI skills development course to help bring AI and machine learning education to Filipinos. Meanwhile, according to DOTR, OTS screener guilty of stealing $300. Okay, iyan po, no? Medyo big story yan. The female screener was recorded on closed-circuit television, and investigation showed that the employee swallowed the cash. She claims in her affidavit that she was eating chocolate, and well, ayun po, medyo that would be an interesting case kasi hindi po ginawa. I don't know, you kind of wonder. Anyway, hard to comment on that, but the point I'm making is that, you know, the medical scientific approach is to determine through x-ray, through stool examination, if indeed she swallowed the money. And unless that, you know, talking at the Senate hearing does it. Hindi ko po siya dinedepensahan, pero parang butas-butas din kasi yung presentation. Anyway, speaking of sports, NBA content for Filipino hoop fans continues. The NBA and Cignal have renewed their partnership that ensures the availability of NBA games across multiple Cignal platforms. Okay, so yun po, no? They have renewed their engagement. So tuloy ang ligaya, tuloy ang basketball para sa mga mahilig. Okay, that's all we have on the front page of the Philippine Star. Let's go for a quick break, and when we return, let's start talking about investments for young individuals and the likes here on Agenda.
A new phone? Or going to the club? It seems that a lot of young Filipinos are saying no to these as they feel the impact of the inflation. A survey conducted by the Nomura Research Institute Singapore shows that 83% of young adults reduced their non-essential goods expenses, while 79% specifically cut their expenses on leisure and entertainment spaces. The survey also revealed that 71% of young adults have outstanding loans, and 32% of them did not save any money for the past 6 to 12 months. Despite that, insurance firm Manulife observed that a lot of young Filipinos are starting to invest their money since the pandemic. The company reported that 48% of their client base are younger generations. How are younger Filipinos working towards saving and investing their money in this economy? Let's discuss this on today's agenda.
Aira Gaspar is the president and CEO of Manulife Investment Management and Trust Corporation. Prior to this, she was Manulife's chief investment officer, where she developed and implemented investment strategies for the company. Gaspar is also a certified public accountant and chartered financial analyst.
Good morning, Ira. Welcome to the program agenda, and thank you for making time.
Good morning, Cito, and thanks for having me.
Okay, I've actually long been interested in investments, savings, financial literacy, and I was surprised by that introduction that your client base is composed of a lot of young people because prior to the pandemic, it's like what to say? You only live once. YOLO, diba? Yeah. YOLO and live it up, etc. So, did the pandemic change that, or are Filipinos becoming more aware and literate regarding investments?
Yeah, Manulife actually, Cito, conducted a research in 2021, which revealed that the pandemic and the economic challenges that came with it actually accelerated the financial adulting of many young Filipinos included in the survey. So in that survey, we noted that the young Filipinos included in the survey actually have become more aware of the consequences of being unprepared financially for the unexpected, because some of them lost their jobs and some of them experienced reduction in their household income. So the study also revealed that 77% of the millennials in the survey were looking to grow their money, and 67% are already investing. If we compare it with Sorry, go ahead. So if we compare it with our actual experience, since March 2020, which is the onset of the pandemic, the total number of our Gen Z and Gen Y clients actually more than doubled. And today, they now account for 52% of our total client base. So this indicates that there is really an increasing number of young Filipinos that are taking the financial steps to secure their future.
Okay, now what has Manulife done from your end that makes it easy and attractive? Because nung bata pa ako, as they say in the song, medyo you need to have a lot of money or make a serious financial sacrifice in order to have enough money to invest. Kumbaga, hello, kulang pa ho yan pang invest, dagdagan po muna ninyo. In our time, what has Manulife done in recent times?
Yeah, so actually, over the past 6 years, we have implemented a number of initiatives to help more Filipinos start their investment journey. So as one of the youngest players in the industry, Cito, we actually pioneered the offering of multi-currency unit investment trust funds, or UITFs. So all of our offshore strategies are available in both peso and US dollar share classes upon launch. So this means that it becomes easier for Filipinos to diversify geographically without the need for them to buy US dollars. So they can invest in the currency of their choice, whether it's peso or US dollars. And then over the past 6 years, we've launched 20 UITFs for different needs, investment goals, and risk appetite. So many of these UITFs are actually first in the market. So like, for example,
What do you mean ITFs? Pasensya na, hindi ako literate.
Okay, UITFs, they're actually pooled funds. So meaning you pool the money of investors in one fund that is professionally managed by trust entities like Manulife Investment Management to achieve a specific investment objective. So for example, in our case, we have set the funds that are low volatility investments like money market fund. So money market fund, you can use it either to reduce your portfolio risk or to as a parking facility while waiting for your next move or while you're thinking about your other options. We also have income-paying funds that are targeted to deliver recurring income streams. So 4 out of 5 of our income-paying funds actually pay dividends on a monthly basis, on top of the potential to generate capital appreciation. And of course, there's also this set that is focused on capital growth. Like, for example, we have American Growth Fund, which invests in U.S. equities. We have ASEAN Equity, which invests in a formidable group of countries, which together accounts for a significant portion of the global economy. The fifth
you said earlier that you're one of the youngest players, if not the youngest players. Manulife is in the industry. Like, I always thought that you've been around for the longest time.
Oh, our parent company, Manulife Philippines, has been in the country for 116 years. So in our case, Manulife Investment Management and Trust Corporation, we started operations in September 2017 as the first foreign non-bank-owned trust entity in the Philippines.
Foreign non-bank-owned?
Yes. So we're owned by Manulife Philippines, which is a life insurance company whose headquarters is based in Toronto. So, but we're not owned by a bank. So we're the first non-native constituent of the BSP in that sense, because we're not a trust department of bank. So we are a standalone trust corporation that is backed by a leading global financial services group.
Historically, organizations such as yours and businesses that you're heading are headed by old men. Sorry, I'm just calling it the way it is. But how is it? How did you find yourself in that situation? Because that has been the complaint of many women, that there's a lower ceiling for women, particularly in the industry.
Oh, okay. So I started my career in SGV. So it's one of the, I guess, biggest auditing firms in the Philippines, where I provided assurance services to a range of institutions, mostly firms engaged in the business of life insurance, manufacturing, and utility services. So I enjoy acquiring new knowledge, skills, and experiences. So after my stint at SGV, I joined Manulife Philippines, so the insurance company, our parent company, as an internal auditor while pursuing further studies. So my further studies, as well as my work experience, opened an opportunity for me to be the head of investments of Manulife Philippines. So later on, I decided to complete the CFA program. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's a 3-part exam that tests the fundamentals of investment tools, portfolio management, valuation of assets for the investment management profession. So it's a global examination. So I took that exam to gain knowledge, to gain solid economic foundation and investment management, which I capitalized on in my role as head of investments and later chief investment officer of the Manulife Philippines Group for more than 2 decades. So, and then the knowledge and experience that I gained from being a chief investment officer opened the doors for me to step up to the role of President and Chief Executive Officer of Manulife Investment Management and Trust Corporation.
How different is the job? Because you came from numbers, from checking and investigating expenses, budgets, etc., auditing, to being president and CEO. Because I've had conversations with accounting managers, etc., and they ask me, Cito, how come we are never invited to the board? I said, simple, because you speak a very different language. You speak the language of restraint, of control, of saving. They speak the language of risk and investment. So how has it been for you?
Well, it's been a very interesting and engaging journey for me. So I've been with Manulife for 31 years. So definitely being an accountant by academic background helped me in the initiatives that I've done to invest in my education to expand my skill set. At the same time, so as president and CEO, your priorities change. So right now, our priorities is to expand our wealth and asset management franchise in the Philippines, to reach out to a broader set of Filipinos, to be part of their investment journey, and to empower them to make more proactive choices so they can achieve their investment goals.
What was the biggest challenge as far as your team is concerned in making Filipinos more receptive and engage in investment? Because we tend to be very, distrusting of investments after decades of scams that have happened in the country. What was your biggest challenge?
I think in early on, we were focused on leveraging our global pedigree to bring something new to local investors. As you mentioned earlier, in the previous years, it's so hard to start your investment journey. So that was one of our motivations in implementing making sure that our UITFs are accessible to as many Filipinos as possible. So today, our 20 UITFs can be accessed by Filipinos for as little as 1,000 pesos. So if you have 3,000 pesos, you can already invest in 3 UITFs. And then the other thing that I think is very important is to make sure that you do regular investing so you can ride out market volatility. So what we've done is we put in a regular savings plan. So it's like a systematic investing within our digital investment platform, Manulife iFund. So that's, again, another tool that young Filipinos love to use, right? It makes it easy for them to advance their financial goals digitally. And it has served our clients well, particularly during the pandemic.
Okay, now, so the profile is at 47% are young people. What is your definition of young people? Because I was saying at the beginning of the program that whenever I'm invited to baptisms, I say no when they ask me to be a ninong. Hello, ang tanda ko na, magnininong pa ako dyan. But I tell the parents, please open a bank account for them immediately when it's already possible, and start up a dollar denomination savings, etc. That's what I tell new parents. But when you say young people, how young can an investor be?
So for our UITFs, you must be at least 18 years old in order to open a UITF, and you must have the legal capacity to transact. For the groupings that I mentioned, so the millennials, they consist of individuals that were born between 1981 to 1996, and then the Gen Zs 1997 up to 2012.
Okay. And you mentioned that you can make an investment as little as 1,000. And already the cynical old people, I know, ano ba naman yan, pre? 1,000, ano may ipon yan at the end of the year? 12,000 plus interest. Can you explain the philosophy to all of this? Is this just a getting you started type of program, or is there really wisdom? Because I've listened to a lot of financial experts podcasts abroad, and they do say, if you save X amount, this little amount, by the time you retire, you have $1 million. Exponential.
Correct. So I think the idea is we set it at 1,000 so that we can encourage and empower more Filipinos to start their investment journey. So particularly for the young people, but it doesn't stop them from adding on or topping up to their investments. So for example, they can use our regular savings plan that's part of Manulife iFunds to make regular contributions, again, for as little as 1,000 pesos, either once a month or twice a month. And then as they progress through their career or whatever businesses they are engaged in, they can increase progressively the amount of regular investments that they make so they can secure their financial future.
Yeah, because before we go to the break, I recently heard of a suggestion for parents as well. Start your kids on an investment program and co-share or co-invest, meaning, okay, if your son or daughter invests 1,000 a month, you invest 1,000 a month as well, and that easily grows into quite an investment or a saving. But anyway, Ira, let's go for a quick break. And when we come back, I'd like you to elaborate more on what's available with Manulife and what else there may be in the future. We'll be right back here on Agenda. Welcome back to your program Agenda. I'm your host, Cito Beltran, and we are talking to the president and CEO of Manulife Investment, Aira Gaspar, and let's bring her back for more learning. Aira, we were talking about investments as little as 1,000 pesos, and I was suggesting that parents could co-invest for their young adults or family members if they have the extra cash, because it could grow into a sizable sum after many years. Now, what other stuff is on the table from Manulife Investment, Aira?
Yeah. So it's good that you mentioned that, Cito, because at Manulife Investment Management, we also allow joint accounts. So parents can open UITF accounts with their children, with their siblings can also do open UITF accounts for any purpose that they have in their mind. So for Manulife Investment Management, so what we've done as we built our distinctive set of UITFs, we actually made sure that different needs, goals, and risk appetite will be achieved. So we have a set of UITFs that we call it low volatility funds. So that would include money market fund, which clients can use as a parking facility or as a way to reduce their portfolio risk. We also have income-generating funds, as I mentioned earlier. So we have 5 income-generating funds: Asia Pacific REIT, Global REIT, Global Preferred Income, Asia Dynamic Income, and Global Multi-Asset. So the Global Multi-Asset is actually a very flexible strategy. It has the ability to change allocation between asset classes, depending on market outlook and asset class preferences. And it can also shift focus from income generating to capital appreciation, depending on the market outlook. And then on top of that, we have several UITFs that are more capital growth focused. So we have funds that invest in the US equities, ASEAN market, global technology, and global equities, to name a few. So it's really a wide range of selection.
Yeah, to be transparent about it, ladies and gentlemen, I do have an investment with Manulife, and it was done through one of my Bible study members. And it worked out well. Nothing big. It was like a monthly thing that we were giving, and then there was I don't know what you call it. It's, my wife does all of this. It's term investment. You reach a particular period, and okay, you hit the finish line. You can decide what to do with it now. As far as parked funds are concerned, what is the safest place to put money that's in the safe, money that's in a savings account? That, because people keep saying, wag savings account pare, dapat yung active income, yung not passive, parang may, you park it there, but it makes money. What is the safest as far as Manulife investment is concerned?
Okay, so if your focus is really more on capital preservation, our Manulife money market fund actually invests only in sovereign issuances. So right now we're largely invested in BSP bills. So that fund is not investing in any corporate issuances. So there is no credit risk associated with corporates for that particular fund. So it's very liquid. You can access your investment on a daily basis, and the volatility is very low. So the trajectory of the value of the fund is actually upward with very, very minimal volatility.
Worst case scenario is that you get what you put in. Ideal is you get a little more than you put in.
Yeah, yes, for the money market fund. Now, if you are prepared to take some level of volatility, the Global Multi-Asset Diversified Income Fund is actually a very good choice because it has the ability to switch between asset classes depending on the market outlook and the asset class preferences of our portfolio manager. So the strategy is actually managed by our Boston team.
Okay, now what do people do to know more about this? Because the people who've earned the money, saved the money the most, are the people who still like to see a face, want to talk to someone and see what's being done in front of them. Where do they go? Where do they go, and who do they look for if they're interested in what you have to offer?
So they can send us a message through our website and also our Facebook. So the good thing about Manulife Investment Management is we have certified wealth specialists who provide bespoke services for clients depending on their unique requirements and needs. So our wealth specialists are certified to offer you ITFs based on the standards provided by the Trust Officers Association of the Philippines. So they took the exam to be able to be certified.
Okay. Well, Aira, I think we covered a lot of it. And if you have new stuff to talk about, please do let us know. And I'm a happy customer, and maybe we can look into something in the future. Thank you very much, and have a good day.
You too. Thank you, Cito, and thanks for having me.
Okay, God bless you. That's Aira Gaspar, President and CEO of Manulife Investment. And please consider what they're doing. It's Manulife Investment Management and Trust Corporation. I'm sure you can find them on the web. And don't just park your money in the safe or in the savings account. Try to find something that will earn you a little more income than giving the money to banks alone. Okay, we'll go for a quick break. When we return, that senior citizen announcement of 1,000 a month. Pwede nyo nang padala sa Manulife Investment yon. Okay, we'll be right back here on Agenda.
is 500 pesos per month. This can be used for their daily needs such as food, transportation, and medicine. The allowance is also non-taxable. In July 2022, the Social Pension for Indigent Senior Citizens Act collapsed into law, which means that the 500 peso pension has been increased to 1,000 pesos. Have senior citizens been able to receive this benefit? How can they do so easily and without hassle? Let's discuss that and more on today's agenda.
Attorney Franklin Quijano is the chairman and CEO of the National Commission of Senior Citizens. He was mayor of Iligan City from 1998 to 2004. A human rights and labor lawyer, Quijano is also a resource person of the Center for Peace and Conflict Studies.
Good morning, Chairman Quijano. Welcome to the program agenda.
Good morning, Sir Cito. Good morning to everyone.
Okay, pasensya na, naggambala na naman namin kayo, Mayor Chairman.
Well, it's really an honor. It's an honor, Cito, on air, face-to-face with Cito Beltran. Definitely, it's an honor.
Di po, public service lang po ito, sir. Kasi yesterday, I got a text message from my wife who's in Holland, in Netherlands, telling me, "Oy, there's something that's spreading in the Viber chat group in the village that regarding senior citizens will get 1,000 per month or 3,000 every 3 months, etc." So I said, teka, we will go call the authorities, find out what is the truth and how is this going to be applied. So Chairman, I understand this is for 2024. Could you do us the favor of explaining what this Republic Act is all about and what the benefits to senior citizens will be?
I'll start with the positive, Cito. The positive is about the 1,000 for the indigent senior citizens, yung walang-wala. And that is, that's the story. Of course, I will proceed with the distorted. The social media is spreading 1,000 for everyone. And that makes it a totally different story, although a lot of people are hopeful because it's actually being deliberated in Congress, the universal pension for all seniors. However, I hope that we will not expect too much because you know naman how the mills of Congress and Senate will churn. It's going to be a bit slow. So if at all this is going to be approved, it's not going to be easy. And it requires 60 billion to distribute 1,000 or even 120 billion to distribute 1,000 for all senior citizens. So medyo hindi naman yata yan expected immediately. But in the case of the indigent senior citizens, which actually totals about 4 million plus, 4 million plus. So the law that was used previously is Republic Act 4994, which not only emphasized that senior citizens are pillars in nation building, but they also deserve the support by the citizens in the country because we are on the age which needs support.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Chairman Quijano, could you explain or define or give the definition of indigent?
That's a good question. Under Republic Act 9994, the word indigent is defined as frail, sickly, with disability, and the more important element is with no visible means of support. So if you're frail, and it seems that it's a bit hazy to say you're frail because the two of us can say, baka frail tayo. Some subjective elements may be there. That's why we have to ask the medical profession, ano ba talaga ang meaning ng frail? Second is sickly. And sa sickly naman, may mga parameters ang being sickly. Third is with disability, and that has to really be proven in terms of empirical basis. But the last one, which to me is a very critical element in the definition, is walang-wala, no visible means of support. And so
Yeah.
those who are receiving SSS, GSIS,
Pension.
PIBAW pension, police pension, or even private pension from the different insurance companies that are regularly given to the assured, diba? So they are not entitled to the social pension for the indigents.
Okay. No, it's good we called you because I don't know. I think that's going to be there will be that will be a contentious point because I've talked to some people who are actually residents here in Capitolio. Okay, when they were working, government employees, etc., they were able to buy land kasi noon mura pa. And you could buy property kasi empleyado ka ng Meralco and Meralco was able to provide for its employees, etc. But now they're in their 80s, wala silang trabaho, and ang source nila is a SSS fund of 2005. Tubig pa lang yun at kuryente, kapos na kulang na yun. So, parang kasi may mga nagagalit na rin, puro na lang PPP sinasabi nila, no? Puro 4-piece na lang. Lahat yata napupunta na doon. Meron kang 4-piece sa pagkain, 4-piece sa aral, 4-piece sa health, ito sa senior citizen. Pero yung mga nagbayad ng tax, mga nag-contribute to the economy, just because they have SSS or something, which is not even sufficient to cover the monthly expense of a person without work, parang unfair. Kinuntest nyo na ba yan sa Congress or is that going to be deliberated, that point of contention?
Actually, one of the congressmen requested me, Franklin, let's change this because he really feels what you are saying now, that there are SSS and GSIS retirees or even PIBA retirees whose support, your monthly support, is less than 5,000. And definitely these amounts fall below the poverty line. So, however, what he wants is really then amend the law because the law tends to be very strict and stringent. And that is, yung walang-wala lang talaga. In fact, may mga controversies pa dito because there are senior citizens who has children abroad. Ang sabi, you have children, therefore you're getting support. And then the senior citizens asserts, but they have their families and we don't get any support. Maybe sa December may natatanggap kami, but that's not regular support. So these things have to really be defined very carefully by the law. And I think that the Congress and Senate must be ready already with some amendments. And so we are actually preparing the amendatory provisions which we shall be submitting to some friends in Congress. I hope you will help us multiply the friends who will be supportive of amending the law on the indigent senior citizens.
Yeah, because we support, we agreed that we should support indigent people. We support indigent kids for their education, but not to the exclusion of senior citizens who have no means of regular income, as you pointed out. So, as the situation is right now, false alarm na naman or fake news na naman yung kumakalat. Not everyone is going to get the 1,000 peso benefit.
That's correct. It's only the indigent. And it starts next year, even as a lot of the senior citizens are hopeful that it should start April this year because the law was passed last July 30, 2022, while of course the budget was submitted last May 2022, kaya walang appropriation to support the law. And so after the IRR was passed, naghanap pa at naghahanap pa hanggang ngayon ang ating mga economic managers, BBM, Treasury, and Finance on how to fund the April to December. However, what is definite is DBM has assured us, Secretary Amina Pangandaman has assured us that beginning January 2024, definite na 1,000 for the indigent senior citizens.
Yan na nga ba sinasabi ko eh. Ang dali nilang nalagyan ng confidential fund kung sino-sino, but an existing law that was passed 1 year ago still needs to find money to support the indigent senior citizens. Anyway, palagay ko hindi pa rin ang mahahanap mo sa akin, sir. Mahahanap mo sa akin talagang galit na senior citizen. But anyway, going back to for clarification, ladies and gentlemen, if you receive that message that there will be a 1,000 peso benefit to senior citizens every month next year, fake news po yun. It is only for the poorest of the poor. Now, moving forward, Chairman, I'd like to give you the opportunity. Baka may good news ka pa dyan na masasabi dahil pampalamig ulo.
Well, Cito, the good news that I am actually spreading around is 42.9 billion was downloaded from DBM to PhilHealth for free medical, dental, optical, and ear examination for the seniors. And this practically constitutes the universe of the senior citizens. Practically all senior citizens are covered. And that is about 5,000 health insurance for each senior citizens. The concern I have is maraming senior citizen ang hindi nagpapa-annual physical examination. And so I hope you will help me spread the news. It's really being provided, and this is really a shot in the arm for the families and the senior citizen. If you get an annual regular medical profile, you would know how to handle your exercise or therapy, as the case may be, your diet, and the maintenance medicine. And I think the government has so much of maintenance medicine to share as well. From the local government to the national government. So I hope we will be able to spread this so that, if one is because everyone is already considered PhilHealth member, universal healthcare na eh. It's now a matter of registering and picking up the favorite diagnostic laboratory and clinic of your choice, so that they will be able to provide the necessary annual medical check-up together with the interpretation and all. I hope,
let's be clear, Chairman, medical check-up, eye test, ear, and dental.
In fact, we are trying to convince the PhilHealth na isali na ang comprehensive geriatric assessment. The indicators of all the getting old so kasali na po sana.
Okay, well, Chairman, thank you very much for ending our program today with some good news dahil talagang tumaas yung BP ko ng sandali. Okay, disappointed no? Okay, Chairman, thank you very much for joining us this morning, and we will certainly spread the news. And if you have good news or you need to discuss issues, please reach out. Don't wait for an invitation. Reach out because you are performing an important role for senior citizens. Chairman, maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Cito, for having me. God bless you.
God bless you too. Okay, that's Attorney Franklin Quijano. He is the chairperson, National Commission of Senior Citizens. So before we close, sorry to disappoint my friends. Nakala nila machi-channel na nila yung 1,000 peso a month doon sa Manulife investment. Sorry. Para sa poorest of the poor. Pero okay na rin yon. I would rather the poor get it than I be in that position of being poor. Be appreciative of your blessing. Let's go to our blessing for the week, our declaration and reminder from Pope John Paul I. It would be wrong to wait and postpone continually. He who takes the road of later ends up on the road of never. Do not turn life into a perpetual waiting room. Pope John Paul I. And I'm Cito Beltran, thanking you for joining us today and reminding you, make investments, save for the future, plan your future, but always be thankful for your past and the present. Please include Team Agenda in your prayers, please. And please keep it here on One News. God bless you.